As no nonsense as they come, 40-year-old Zara has inherited her mum's businesslike attitude and dedicated work ethic, but even she's had just about enough of Prince Harry and his wife, Meghan, Duchess of Sussex. Fed up, Zara plans to have a firm word with her younger cousin, after the Sussex's latest spate of controversial moves, including Meghan confirming she's launching her Spotify podcast series in June, which will compete for column inches against the Queen's Jubilee. Meanwhile, Harry, 37, has launched yet another lawsuit against a UK newspaper, this time claiming the Mail on Sunday injured his feelings by reporting that he never legitimately promised to pay for his family's security when they returned to the UK from California. He claims he did, at a meeting in Sandringham in January 2020, which was also reportedly attended by the monarch, Prince Charles and Prince William, leading some insiders to suggest lawyers might try to call them as witnesses. This was the final straw for Zara, who is incredibly close with her grandmother and can't stand seeing Harry and Meghan playing games during the twilight of her life, says a source. She's tried to sit back quietly and not take sides as the rest of her cousins have battled it out, but one thing she won't hear of is having her grandmother's Platinum Jubilee celebrations overshadowed by a podcast from California. She wants to tell Harry to pull his head in and stop Meghan from doing something so blatantly conniving. The source adds, Harry and Meghan have had this Spotify podcast deal up their sleeves, sitting dormant, for almost 2 years. So why choose the same month as the Queen's Jubilee celebrations to release it? It doesn't sit right with Zara at all. A palace insider says Zara's intervention echoes her own mother Princess Anne's protectiveness of the Queen. The rest of the family is very relieved that Zara is finally preparing to step in, because everyone knows Harry will listen to her, says the source. She very much takes after her mum and won't tolerate nonsense, and the thought of anyone ruining what is likely to be the Queen's last hurrah is unacceptable to Zara. In other news, Prince Philip had some fruity words to say about Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's interview with Oprah Winfrey, despite being in hospital at the time, a royal expert has claimed. The late Duke of Edinburgh was aware of the interview, in which the Duke and Duchess of Sussex made shocking claims about the firm, including allegations of racist remarks relating to Archie's skin tone. Philip was in hospital when the interview took place in March 2021, but was said to still be in touch with the Queen about family matters, according to royal expert Roya Nikha. Speaking to Royalty TV's The Royal Beat last year, she said, "We hear from people close to the Queen and Duke of Edinburgh that she still discusses family matters with him and still sees him as the head of the family, behind the scenes. The character that Prince Philip is, I don't think for a second that he won't have been reading the papers in the hospital. I suspect he would have known a lot of what was going on. I think he would have had a few fruity words to say about the Oprah interview, put it that way." During the program, the Mirror's royal editor Russell Myers added, "Prince Philip probably wanted to bash some heads together, I would imagine. He is not one for any nonsense. I'm sure his advice would be, everyone needs to settle down and stop sniping at each other." Meanwhile, Ingrid Seward, the editor-in-chief of Majesty magazine, said she believes comparisons will have been made between Harry and his mum, Princess Diana. She said, "Prince Philip had a run-in with Diana towards the end of her life, so you can imagine the things he might have said." Roya went on to say she was confused by Harry and Meghan's claims the Duchess was denied help for her mental health after saying she had suicidal thoughts, as Harry would have all of the external support at his fingertips. "Harry is the most literate and clued-up person on mental health that I have ever met, going back many years," she said. "He has every single organization plugged into mental health at his fingertips. He talks to them all the time. He knows about mental health. Which is why I was so struck and confused by those comments he made in the interview that he didn't know where to turn."